My name is Murugiah. You can call me Muru. You see, from a driver, I work in a warehouse. From a warehouse, I become a storekeeper. So from a storekeeper, after I became a logistics supervisor in the next company. Well, in this company, I actually take charge of the HR, IT, warehouse operations, logistics, administration, general administration, office administration, projects, and liaising with these government agencies. I'm a people's man. Okay? I always preach my son, even now. Life lived for others is life worth living. Okay? So it's not about me, it's not about I, it's about they, it is about them. We all have families. We have a mouth to feed. I cannot be thinking selfishly about my family, and then how about them? I have to think about them. So that is why I did not want to take the offer. See, if I take the offer, what they will think of me? Actually, I did not graduate from school. I quit school. Okay, I studied in Teck Whye Secondary School. My highest standard, I attended Sec 4, but I did not complete my O level. Okay, that was the time when trouble began with me. And I wouldn't blame anyone for that except myself. I went to work in 2 companies in Sungai Gadot, but then the hunger for knowledge kicked in. So I went to study vocational institute. Actually, I wanted to go into motor transport vocation, but the only vocation at that time available for me was marine steelwork. Nevertheless, I took up that offer. So when I joined the NS, during my recruit time, I was approached by those are the career centers from SAF, and that's when I actually thought of signing on. I became a regular. In total, I served 6 years, 2 months in SAF as a MT NCO, motor transport NCO. Basically, we drive, we maintain the vehicle. During that period, I was in Brunei for 1 year as a permanent staff. I came back and then I left the force. So in my second company, after the army, I worked in one company. I joined that company as a driver. And that boss, he can't speak English very well. After a few months later, he told me, Muru, you know this guy is leaving, he's resigning. So I want you to do the packing. I said, boss, no, I want to do driving because I like driving at that time. He said, no. Then I said, boss, I never done this work before. He said, no, I think you can. You see, he said, I think you can. So I know at that time he had a confidence in me to a certain level. And then he put me with one guy. He can't speak English, I can't speak Chinese. And we both have to work together. But actually we did work together well. So this once my boss called and asked, hey, how come you cannot speak Chinese, you cannot speak English, but you both can work? So we said, it's like that. We know what we are doing. So see, he was the one who gave me the first opportunity to work in a warehouse. I only knew my talent at the age of 29. So that's when I realized that I am a natural problem solver. I joined there as a storekeeper, and then a task was given to me by my executive, which was hanging there for a year over. I was only an ordinary storekeeper. When executives can't solve, supervisors can't solve, how can a storekeeper solve? That means this task is given to me to either I do it or I leave this job. My company at that time, we were doing services for SAF, Air Force. Okay, so it was something related to logistics, which are discrepancies across the board. The new item came, the old item is supposed to be obsolete, but then they did not do the accounting proper in the initial stage. So after they distributed the items to all the units, then they could not tally the figure. In my 2 months employment there, I was able to solve the problem. And that's when quite many people, they were surprised. Say, how come? And in fact, my manager, he told me, I have 2 executives, I have 2 supervisors. They can't solve this problem for the past 1 year. You solve it. How? So that's when I became his pet, and he told me, you will be my troubleshooter. So that's how I started my journey into logistics. After 2.5 years, then I was driving. I took up my taxi license. I wanted to try the taxi life. It was interesting. After I took my license, I drove. It was interesting. I liked because you don't report to anyone. You only report to yourself. I was 31 years old. But I sat down and did my math. I realized if I'm going to take up taxi driving as my career, then I will be losing out in my CPF savings. So eventually when my hirer, he said he already got a job, so he wants to let go the taxi. Then he told me to take over the taxi if I want to. I said no. Since you are going to give up taxi driving, I said no. I think I'd rather look for a job. And that time, my son was going to be born. In 2 months' time, he's going to be born. Okay, this happened in 2000. And at the same time, I also had a hunger for my logistics work. So I applied for the job. So I got it. I joined the company 9th June 2000. I joined as a supervisor. 12th June, my boss came. He asked me, who is Muru here? I said, I'm Muru. So he brought my appointment letter. He said, this is your appointment letter. I said, okay. And then he tore the appointment letter. I got a shock. I said, boss. He said, no, don't worry. I didn't know that you have some experiences and you also know some people in this camp. I said, yeah, we were together in Brunei before. He said, no, you are going to be my supervisor. So that's 1 week before my son was born. I took charge of the entire project, the handling and taking over from the SAF. It was not easy. It was very, very challenging, something which I've not done before in my entire life. And I had a good mentor. One thing I would like to mention is that in 2006, you got in the army, the logistics readiness inspection. So my team, or rather we as a company, we did very well. So the LRI for the CE equipment, our grading was A for every category. So there was no single fault. Yeah, the warrant officer, they actually congratulated me. I said, no, the congratulation must go to my guys. I'm only a catalyst. I don't do anything, but they are the one who did the job. So the credit must go to them. And we actually, I told my boss about it. So my boss agreed to give every staff the letter of commendation for their effort. And that was I would say it's an achievement for us at that time as a civilian to achieve such grading.